Pteridophyta division. Then this thing is we are studying about gymnosperms, and the last division is about angiosperms. But this division is deleted from your NCERT syllabus for this academic year itself. Is it clear? Yes. So we all know that how plants emerge. Okay, first thing they emerge in case of water habitat. Okay, the examples over here you find algae. Okay, algae are of different kinds on the basis of their presence in case of water habitat. Okay, there may be on the basis of pigments you find three different algae classes. Okay, so that is about algae. And then when you come to Bryophyta, you see that Bryophyta have taken a step to withstand on the land environment, right? So this is the reason they have gained certain changes. And from Bryophyta up to Pteridophyta, we saw that Pteridophyta were the first true land plants, right? Up to Bryophyta, we studied that Bryophyta are known as amphibians of plant kingdom. Okay, because they can stay in land, but for the reproduction they require water. That's why we say that Bryophyta are amphibians of plant kingdom. And the next division comes is about Pteridophyta. Okay, as I said you, Pteridophytas are the first true land plants which were present on earth. Okay, here Pteridophytas are known as the ferns which you see. Okay, ferns, horsetails, these all comes under division Pteridophyta. Is it clear? So these three divisions involves cryptogamy. Okay, that is the spores are produced over here and the spores are hidden over here. Okay, the seeds are not formed, flowers are not formed. Hidden marriage takes place. That is called as group cryptogamy. Okay, algae, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta belongs to group cryptogamy. That is hidden marriage takes place. And then coming back to the open marriage, or we can see the marriage with the eyes. Marriage in plant kingdom is nothing but flower formation, seeds formation. So all these are visible fertilization which are taking place. Okay, visible kind of mode of fertilization. That is seeds are formed, the flowers are formed. So these all consist of phanerogam group. So phanerogams consist of gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, in this class we will be studying about gymnosperm division. Is it clear? So gymnosperms and angiosperms, these are two different divisions wherein gymnosperms consist of naked seeds. Okay, whereas angiosperms consist of visible seeds. Naked seeds in the sense means that, okay, here they consist of ovules. Okay, these are the reproductive organs which are present. Okay, the seeds which are formed. Okay, ovules are not enclosed by ovary walls. Okay, ovules are the one which are contained around the ovary walls. Okay, like in case of angiosperms. Okay, I'll show you the picture over here. You can get the comparison. See, in case of gymnosperms, ovules are not enclosed by ovary walls. Okay, these are the protective walls which are present. Okay, for the seed formation. And here these are exposed before and defertilization, which means that the ovules which are formed after fertilization over here, those are not enclosed by protective ovary wall. Okay, you do not see extra protection over here, extra protective layer. That's why we say that the seeds are naked over here. Whereas in case of angiosperms, these ovules are protected by ovary walls. That is, the seeds are not at all naked. They are covered by ovary wall. Okay. So this is about gymnosperms. And then coming back to the next point, that is these are medium-sized, tall and shrubs. Okay, you can see the size variation over here. But here the tallest tree which is known. Okay, the tallest gymnosperm tree is called as sequoia. Okay, sequoia is the tallest tree among gymnosperm which is known till date. Okay, and then the roots are of taproot system. Okay, you see taproot system. This is quite easy to understand. But the roots over here are consisting of two different kinds of habitat. Okay, that is mycorrhiza and colloid roots. Okay, so here mycorrhiza are the one wherein the roots have symbiotic green algae. Okay, BGA. So BGA is nothing but blue green algae. Okay, and blue green algae are itself called as cyanobacteria. Is it clear? So here you can see that the roots in case of gymnosperms is kind of taproot system. Okay, you see taproot system in case of gymnosperms, but even if the taproot system occurs, you see a kind of symbiotic association of the roots and other organisms. So here there exists mycorrhiza. Okay, mycorrhiza is symbiotic association between fungus and the roots of gymnosperms. Okay, example, pinus. You can take certain pine trees over here which have mycorrhiza roots. Okay, tap roots they consist of mycorrhiza. That is, they have fungal association with them. And then coming back to coralloid roots. These are another type of roots wherein they consist of nitrogen fixing organisms with them. And the nitrogen fixing organisms are called as cyanobacteria. Okay, and it occurs in case of cycas. So here you can see that there comes three C's over here: coralloid root C, cycas C, and cyanobacteria C. So this is how you can remember that coralloid roots occurs wherein it occurs in case of cycas. There we see the symbiotic association between roots of cycas and cyanobacteria. Is it clear? And cyanobacteria are known to be blue-green algae, that is BGA, and these aid in case of nitrogen fixation. Is it clear? So these are concepts are very important to you on the exam point of view. Okay. And then coming back to the types of stems. Okay, we see roots, we see stems in case of gymnosperms. And stems in case of gymnosperms are either branched or unbranched. Okay. Branched it occurs in case of pinus and sedges, whereas unbranched roots occurs in case of cycas. There is also one important thing in case of unbranched root, that is the roots are pinnate over here. Okay, the roots of unbranched leaves, okay, unbranched stem are pinnate in case of cycas. Pinnate leaves in the sense means that there exists one particular stem, okay, and this stem consists of leaves on either side. Okay, so these are common plants which we see. And what terminal leaf? Okay, so this is a kind of pinnate stem which we see. Pinnate in the sense means that there is one particular stem, and to this stem on either side we actually see different branchings of leaves. Okay, it ends with one terminal leaf, and this particular kind of pinnate leaf persists in case of unbranched cycas for few years. Okay, so this kind of particular pinnate variation, that is pinnate stem, we see for particular many years in case of cycas. Is it clear? So this is about stem. And then when we take the example of conifers. Okay, conifers are one such plants which come under gymnosperms. Those are found in case of extreme habitat. Okay, extreme habitat in the case means that much snowy region. Okay, wherein we see there is water which is present, that is in minute quantities. Okay, and that's why they see that there is only smaller amount of water which is present for them to absorb. Okay, so the nutrients for them, that is in case of water, that is present in case of smaller amount for them to be absorbed. That's why the water which is present in their body, they retain that water. Okay, so they do not expose the water, that is the process of transpiration. Okay, they do not expel the water more from the body to the outside environment when there is sunlight. Okay, in presence of sunlight, what they do, they just try themselves. Okay, try that they can retain much of the water in their body. Okay, and this needle-like leaves. So here you can see there is a difference. Okay, here you can see this is the larger surface area in case of normal leaf. Okay, normal leaf whichever you take. Okay, so here you can see this is the larger surface area. Larger surface area in the sense means that they consist of more amount of chloroplast, right? And the stomata is also present in case of more number. Okay, if the stomata are present in case of more number, water transpiration takes place to more amount. That is, water is taken out of the body to a higher level. But to overcome this kind of process, that is to overcome much of the transpiration of water, they consist of needle-like leaf. So leaf do not consist of much longer surface area. They are rather compressed. Okay, so compressed leaf which we see, those are called as needle-like leaf, and this needle-like leaf consists of one or few stomata, wherein if few stomata are present, they are also covered by thick cuticle. Okay, the stomata consists of thick cuticle. Okay, this leaf which is over here, that consists of thick cuticle and shrunken stomata. Okay, stomata we can see if it is shrunken, more amount of transpiration does not take place. Water is retained more into the body. Okay, because they have lesser water to absorb. That's why they retain more of the body water in themselves. That's why they have needle-like leaf, and this is how they possess needle-like leaf by thick cuticle around the leaf. Okay, around the stomata, and then shrunken stomata. Is it clear? So this is all about the characters of gymnosperms. Okay, and next we move to the heterospores. Okay, the spores which are found in case of gymnosperms. But before moving to this, I would like to revise it again. Okay, so gymnosperms are the one. The organisms over here consist of naked seeds. Okay, which means that the ovules which are formed after fertilization, those are not enclosed by ovary walls. Okay, and they are exposed, and they remain exposed both before and after fertilization. Okay, so next is they have different sizes: medium size, tall size, and shrubs. But the tallest gymnosperm tree is known as sequoia. Okay, this might be an important question to you, 1 mark question. Name the tallest tree which belongs to gymnosperm, that is of sequoia. Okay, remember the names which comes over here, those are very important on the exam perspective. Is it clear? So next is the roots are taproot system. That is, they consist of two different modes or two different kinds of symbiotic association, that is called as mycorrhiza and colloid roots. Mycorrhiza are the one which are found in case of Pinus, where we see the symbiotic association between fungus and the roots of Pinus. Okay, that is called as mycorrhiza in case of gymnosperms. And then we also see colloid roots. Okay, these are found in case of cycas. C, C and C. Okay, C, C and C means that colloid roots are found in case of cycas. This is the symbiotic association between the roots of cycas and cyanobacteria. So that's what we see, C, C and C over here. Okay, so next we consists of stems. Okay, stems are of two different kinds, that is they are either branched or unbranched stem. Okay, branched stems are found in case of Pinus and Cedrus, and then unbranched stems are found in case of Cycas. Okay, so unbranched stems also consist of pinnate leaves in them. Okay, pinnate leaf system is found in case of unbranched stems. Okay, and they persist for many certain years. Okay, and then taking the example of conifers. Okay, apart from all the different gymnosperms which are well habituated to many different temperate zones or different zones or habitat, we see that conifers also exist. Okay, conifers are such that which exist in extreme habitat temperature. Okay, extreme temperature conditions are present, and in that condition conifers are occurring. Okay, so how can they withstand this extreme temperature? That is, they have developed thicker cuticle and shrunken stomata, and also they possess needle-like leaf among them. Okay, needle-like leaf idre, the surface area is smaller. Okay, or else the normal leaf which we see, the surface area is bigger, but in case of needle-like leaf, the surface area is smaller, and that's why transpiration also takes place to very smaller amount, because stomata is also shrunken in case of conifers. Okay, these are all the adaptations which we see in case of gymnosperms. And now moving back to the mode of reproduction. Okay, reproduction in case of gymnosperms occurs by sexual fertilization. Okay, sexual mode of reproduction wherein we see formation of heterospores. Okay, so here you know the word that is homospores and heterospores. Homospores is the one wherein we see same kind of spores are present. Okay, both male and female spores are same. Okay, that is same kind of spores are present. But gymnosperms consist of heterospores. So as I have said you, the heterospores are present in case of gymnosperms. Okay, heterospores over here consist of microspores and megaspores. Okay, do not be confused with the spores which you see in case of pteridophyta and bryophyta. Okay, they also consist of microspores and also consist of megaspores. Okay, in case of pteridophyta and bryophyta, the microspores consisted of antheridia, whereas the macrospore consisted of the archegonia. That is all about pteridophyta and gymnosperms. But when pteridophyta and bryophyta, sorry. So when you come back to gymnosperms, you also see there are two spores. That is, heterospore formation takes place. Different spores are formed. Hetero means different. Different spores are formed, and those are microspores and megaspores. Okay, microspores belongs to male and macrospores belongs to female. But there is no such thing called as antheridia or archegonia in case of gymnosperms. Okay, apart from that, we see that we all also know that the spores are actually contained in case of sporangia. Okay, so this is sporangia, and this sporangia consists of, okay, these are spores, and this is sporangia. Okay, so spores are present in case of, or they consist, the envelope called as sporangia. Okay, and sporangia are present on certain leaf venation. Okay, this is a particular leaf which we see, so it consists of certain venations. Okay, on one venation, if there is one sporangia, we call that particular region or axis as sporophylls. Okay, sporophyll is that part or is that axis of the leaf where we see sporangia are present. The axis of the leaf where sporangia are present are called as sporophylls. Okay, sporophylls might also be present, or else we also see strobili or cones. So these all concepts I have told you in case of pteridophyta. So it will be very helpful for you to remember over here also. Okay, so when coming back to this, okay, when coming back to the spore formation, we see heterospores are found in case of gymnosperms. So listen over here, I want your 100% attention towards the board, because this system which I am explaining to you right now is quite complex. That's why just leave your pen and paper aside and listen to the topic which I tell you first. Okay, so heterospores are present in case of gymnosperms, and these are of microspores and megaspores. Microspores consist of the male spores, whereas megaspores consist of the female spores. Okay, and we know that the spores are contained in case of sporangia covering. Okay, or the spores are enveloped into sporangia, and this sporangia occurs at the axis of the leaf called as sporophylls, or else they can be also formed in case of strobili or cones. Okay, this is how spores are formed. Okay, they are either formed in case of sporangia, that is, they are either formed in case of sporophylls or strobili or cones. Okay, so male spores. Coming back to the formation of male spores. Male spores, we know that they are called as microspores. Okay, so here we know that the male spores are called as microspores. Okay, micro refers the word to male and macro or mega refers to the word called as female. Okay, so in case of male spores we see microspores are present. Okay, whereas the female spores consist of the megaspore. So far everything clear, right? So next thing is the male spores, that is microspores, are found in case of microsporangia and microsporophyll. Okay, remember the term sporangia and sporophyll. Both these terms are different. Okay, sporangia is the one which contains the spores in it, and this is the sporophyll region where the sporangia is present. Okay, if it is a male, okay, microspores are formed and these microspores are covered in case of microsporangia protective covering. Okay, microspores are covered in case of microsporangia protective covering and these are present in case of microsporophylls. Is it clear? Okay, so microsporangia and microsporophylls are found in case of male spores. Okay, male spores, and these male spores can also be called as microsporangiate and male strobili. Is it clear? Okay, I will just explain you again. Just leave your work aside and listen properly. Okay, so here we see two kinds of spores, male and female spores. Okay, if the male spores are formed, those spores are called as microspores. Okay, and these microspores are covered around the microsporangia protective covering and these are found in case of microsporophylls. That is, this is the region which is present on the axis of the leaf. Okay, and this particular microsporangia and microsporophylls are actually called as male strobili or microsporangiate. Okay, micro is the word which refers to male. That's why we call them as male strobili or cones. Okay, so this is about male cones or male strobili which are formed. Then coming back to the female spores. Female spores, how they are formed is, they are actually called as macrospores. Macro or megaspores. Okay, you can take both the words over here, but the female spores are called as macrospores. Okay, so macrospores are found in case of microsporangia. Okay, this is the covering, and also microsporophyll, that is the apex of the leaf. Is it clear? So female spores are contained in case of microsporangia and microsporophylls, and these can be called as macrosporangiate or the female strobili. Is it clear? So this is about male and female spores which are found in case of gymnosperms. Okay, so I repeat it again. Gymnosperms consist of heterospores. That is, different kinds of spores are formed and these different kinds of spores are called as microspores and the megaspores. Microspores are the one which belongs to the male and megaspores are the one which belongs to the female. Okay, so taking back our knowledge, we know that spores are one such that they are covered in case of sporangia, and this sporangia are found on the axis of the leaf venetion called as sporophyll, or else they are also confined in case of strobili or as a cone. Okay, so these are concepts we know very clearly. This is about spore, where they are formed and how they are contained. Next, coming back to the types of heterospores, we see male spores and the female spores. Okay, male spores are called as microspores, where we see microsporangia Is it clear? Okay. So the male spores, okay, taking microspores. Microspores are called as male gametophyte. Okay, and these male gametophytes are then reduced. Okay, they are meiosis. Okay, meiosis takes place. Meiosis takes place, then they form reductional division. Okay, if the 2n number of chromosomes were present, it was reduced to n number. That is, reductional division takes place. Meiosis occurs, and the end result of meiosis, we know that 4 different daughter cells arise. Okay, and that 4 different daughter cells are called as pollen grains. Is it clear? Okay. So the male, okay, in case of male, this is a male. So the male spores we call as microspores, and these microspores actually consist of male gametophyte. Okay, whenever you take the word gametophyte, keep one thing in mind, that gametophyte consists of reductional division. Sporophyte consists of diploid number. Gametophyte consists of haploid number. Haploid number means that reduction division takes place. Okay, that's why male gametophytes are reduced. Reduction division andre meiosis ಆಗ್ತದ. Meiosis andre 4 different daughter cells formation takes place from one microspore. Okay, so we see pollen grains are formed, and these pollen grains are then developed in case of microsporangia. Okay, that is over here. Is this particular portion clear to you all? Okay, I repeat this particular thing again. Okay, so male spores are called as microspores. Okay, microspores ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ತಾವಂದ್ರ they are actually called as male gametophyte. Gametophyte ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ that is haploid number. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ reduction division ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Okay, that is pollen grain formation ಆಗ್ತದೆ. but even pollen grains ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, those are